I have the pleasure of introducing you Mr. Giridhar. He is the CEO and Managing Director of Sierra ODC. It's a 22-year-old software company, but he created a e-facility building, which is a SDC really, Software Development Center of Sierra. And it has been one of the highest ranking green building rated systems under IGBC. More than that, apart from the fact that it benchmark for green building, what has been very, very relevant and important is the way he has gone about getting in the contemporary need of the hour. So focusing on the indoor environment, the metrics that he is measuring. And I'm certain you will find it as relevant. Just the way we talked about engineering, starting at the foundation level, trying to come to the user experience, wellness, comfort of environment, so relevant to the contemporary world. Over to you, Mr. Giridhar. You have 15 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Am I audible?
You are.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. Please.
Okay. Thank you very much, IGBC. Thank you, Mr. Vaidyanathan, for this opportunity. About our project, it's India's highest ranking green building rated under the IGBC Green New Building Rating System. And it's a software development center based out of Coimbatore, India. And this is a quick view on our scores. Like we scored full on energy efficiency, indoor environment quality, water, innovation and development. And in my short presentation, I'm going to talk about 4 things. So how we maximize performance, both before certification and after certification. Then the inspiration that we drew from winning this performance challenge. And so the green building concepts, interestingly, helped us a lot during this COVID-19 onset. And I'll want to throw some light on that. And I also want to address some of the challenges that are coming in our way with respect to resource efficiencies with COVID-19 in place. Like it's a long way to go, and so what kind of challenges we are facing and how we are taking care of that certain part of it. So the performance challenge covered these major areas: energy efficiency, water efficiency, waste management, other green features, and innovation. So I will cover a few of the things that what we did in our submissions. So with respect to energy, we had foam concreting done, cool roofing done, thicker walls, high performance glass, everything to take care of the building envelope, energy efficient building envelope. We went in for that time the best energy efficiency ratio air conditioning system, because we fully air conditioned offices, that to IT spaces which are very densely populated, air conditioning is the primary load, and so we laid special emphasis on that. So natural lighting, we improved 86%. Our design was about 90%, but we could achieve 86% in real time. And then 100% LED lighting. Then we went in for 100% green power. Apart from the renewable energy we generate on site, we also went in for renewable energy certification purchase to make it carbon neutral. So I think we spoke a lot about the measurement and verification. So what gets measured gets monitored, and what gets monitored you can improvise. And so we have meters for HVAC, lighting, pumping and treatment, data center, UPS, desktop, laptops, kitchen, lift. And surprisingly, kitchen took about 20% of our total energy. And so which was not originally planned for, because we wanted to go in for 100% electric kitchen because that's greener compared to all the other forms of fuel. And so we found that our measurements were not well in place, so we had to do further optimization. So we also had the BIPV solar implemented, amorphous silicon thin film building facade which generates power. So we went in for the lighting automation is something which we spent a lot of time in optimizing that. So we have occupancy based lighting, occupancy and lux based lighting for certain areas, schedule based, and totally lux based for areas like parking and street and everything. So 62.5% of our lights are automated, and so only 32% is not automated, which are rarely used and which is not really needed for the day-to-day operations. So again, as Mr. Engineer said, that we also did this 100% automation of all equipment. So we didn't leave from the gates to the lifts to everything was completely integrated with the building automation system. So that helped in a big way when we had to, manage the COVID-19 lockdown situation. Other than automation, like helping in remote monitoring and everything, so it definitely helps in saving energy. So, like, this is something which we had very much, this is something which we are really making use of it on a day-to-day basis. So we have real-time monitoring and operation using energy dashboards which are displayed in public areas. So we use this to improve the awareness and sensitivity of our occupants. So one is like 3-4 people sitting in the maintenance team looking at this data. So if they're improving the energy efficiency, they may drop on the indoor environment quality, and they have a lot of challenges to address. And so, like what we thought was putting the energy dashboards in the public display. So the energy dashboards are viewed by the top management to the occupant of the building. And so this not only creates pressure for the facility management team to keep their infrastructure well in place and energy saving claims to be well maintained. It also creates awareness for the people. Like during the induction itself, we train people that what is the speciality of this building and why we have to, what is climate change and why we need to contribute in whatever manner possible. So the people joining our organization straight away get those inputs, and then on a day-to-day basis, when they see this data, they understand how the indoor air quality is helping them, or how much of energy improvements that we are making on a day-to-day basis, and so they start contributing as well. So this is a very key thing which we felt very useful for us. And so the outcome is like, as per design, we were 64% energy cost reduction. But because as I said, we included we went for all electric kitchen, it reduced a bit. But our EPA is maintained at 43.9, which is the last 2 years data, 2018-19 data is about 43.9 is our EPA, and it's carbon neutral. And going to water, like we implemented waterless urinals, aerators for reduced flow, all sensor-fitted taps, dual flush toilets, efficient plumbing fixtures. So the rainwater we harvest, filter, treat it, and mix it with our fresh water, so that we totally make use of the rainwater. All rooftop rainwater is completely utilized. Sewage treatment plant, watering, the flushing and gardening. And we have lots of plants in the building, and everything is less water use plants. So our automation, like extended to the pumping, water treatment, everything is fully automated. That is, we don't even need to have one single facility maintenance person sitting in the building. Like during the lockdown, we had a few people coming to switch on the computers, but they never had to touch the building equipment at all. So without technician, we could run the building during the entire lockdown period. And so water, again, we monitor, we display it in the energy dashboard. So we have a threshold based hourly and daily excess usage alert. So for example, the leaky taps, or there is a pipe being cut and things like that, we get quick alerts. And so even if it's not visible outside, the alerts come to the maintenance team so that they know that there is a problem and they can go and quickly fix the problem. And so finally, outcome with water, like our design was about 86% as per the green building norms, but then actual water use reduction was 81%. This could be due to our kitchen operations were not counted in the design calculations. And today with kitchen operations, we are using about 11.2 liters per person per day is what is our water usage, which is a very good figure. And going to air quality, again, the air quality, if you want to maintain, the energy performance is definitely going to take a hit. And we have been really, this was a big challenge for us, because we had problems with controlling the CO2 less than 800 is what we aimed at. But initially it was about 1,500 and things like that, which we really were not happy, because being an IT company, people spend 10 to 12 hours a day inside office premises, and we don't want to play with their health. And so we were very serious about handling this. And so this was a challenge. We ultimately fixed it. So we initially used all less VOC paints. We had triple filtration with MERV 7, MERV 13, and MERV 6. And later, when we had this carbon dioxide problem, so we went in for additional air supply systems with HEPA filters. And so just before COVID, we had installed all this, and So now, the air quality, even with the 50% kind of occupancy, air quality is fantastic actually. We already had this 45% enhanced fresh air supply as per beyond ASHRAE standards, and in spite of that, we had CO2 problems. So for densely occupied buildings, even going by the ASHRAE standards, we couldn't achieve the CO2 levels we wanted, though we have done an excellent design and re-verified with multiple consultants. In spite of that, we had problems. So we had reduced indoor dust by implementing the metallic mats. So we have a lot of plants inside to absorb the CO2, dust particles, VOCs, and our demand control ventilation is not only linked to the CO2 monitors, but it also integrated with the IoT and IoT sensors for measuring the PM2.5, PM10, TVOCs, and everything. So demand control ventilation works completely automated and maintains excellent air quality. Again, we have the air quality dashboard. Now, people, when the CO2 level goes up, immediately people ask questions to the FM team, so that that keeps the FM team doing a good job in maintaining the good air quality levels. So we also get daily email reports and mobile app alerts to key people and facility team to take remedial measures on any of these parameters going bad. So the outcome is like we maintain less than 10 microgram per meter cube of PM2.5 and less than 15 microgram per meter cube of PM10, and the CO2 levels always below 800 and TVOCs below 400. So coming to waste, we are a paperless and no plastic office, and so we convert all our waste, organic waste, into manure, and so the rest is sent for recycling, certified recycling agents. And so organic waste we reduce, because food waste is something which is really bad, too much of food goes waste, and so we have a very good canteen management system wherein people have to book the meal, and if they don't consume, they'll get charged more, because we provide subsidized meal, and somebody booking a meal and not having it, they'll be doubly charged because of the subsidy. So we implemented those kind of things to bring down the waste to a great extent. So the outcome was our total waste generation is just 2.5 kgs average per person per year. And in that, organic waste is 1.5 kilos, and that is getting treated completely and converted to manure. And so the paper and plastic and e-waste. So e-waste we also collect from the people who work here, so they can come and deposit their e-waste. Including that, it is only 1 kg per person per year, and which is sent for recycling. So coming to the second part, which is the performance challenge for Greenbelt Environment Awards, how it helped us. So basically, it's a very prestigious award, and so when we get recognized, obviously we talk about it. And so this helps, building further awareness, because we've been looking at, spreading the awareness across the various the industry experts and students and everyone. So when you have, when you win something, obviously you promote it in your social media and things like that. People ask questions, and so that helps in creating the awareness. So our own team, the resource monitoring, improved a lot, because after certification, what next? So now they have a challenge. So every year they have to participate in the performance challenge and win. So that keeps them monitored, and we can't slip even 1 month, because the data requested is for the entire 2 years. And so obviously, we need to make sure that everything is running in good condition. We take care of very good care of our equipment, and so that is really helping us a lot. Because we save enormous costs on equipment maintenance as well, because it's all maintained very well. So going forward, we wanted to become a net zero energy building, and so we are taking cue from IGBC Green Center in Hyderabad. We implemented the bifacial panels and 30% more panels we could install, and so that gives actually 30% more compared to the monofacial, and we just installed it a month before. And based on the monitoring, we find that this is 30% giving more power compared to the monofacial panels. We also implemented something called steam cleaning, because in water use, we still further wanted to reduce and reach what we have was our design thing. And so we found that a lot of water is getting wasted with respect to cleaning. And so we found the steam cleaner uses 75% less water compared to normal cleaning. And so we invested on that, and I'll come to that later, because it has a very good significance. And so we also this hot desking concept has been in vogue for a long time, 30 years now, but it has not been really very well utilized. And when we figured out we need to implement work from home and hot desking, because the moment you implement hot desking, nobody has permanent desk spaces, and people, 80% of the people before COVID, the survey says 80% of the people only all the time are available in the office at any given point in time. Because the balance 20% could be on leaves, or could be attending some meetings, or could be in training program, or on business travel. So we are having a 100% space, and which is air conditioned and well lit and maintained all throughout, whereas you can manage with an 85% workspace, and so that obviously is going to decrease our carbon footprint. And so we were wanting to do this, and so COVID-19 onset has actually helped in implementing the hot desking concept and work from home concept. So I'll touch about it a little more in the coming slides. And so we also started understanding about the waste also generates carbon. So staff commute generates more carbon. Transportation, business travel, everything creates carbon footprint. And so to become a truly zero carbon building or company, we started looking at the GHG inventarization. Again, CII had a fantastic seminar on GHG inventarization, and attending that gave us a lot of insight. So now we have started to inventarize the complete carbon footprint in our building. So we are aiming to become a truly zero carbon. And so this is how the performance challenge helped us. It gave us a lot of insights. It gave us some kind of an incentive for whatever we're doing already. And it's creating a very good platform for us to showcase what we are doing to create the awareness among the others as well. So coming to COVID-19 challenges, so today we need more space per person because of social distancing. So we need enhanced ventilation leading to more energy use. And you can't recirculate air by putting filters and all that. We have to bring in a lot of fresh air, unless otherwise we are using HEPA filters to make sure the virus is completely blocked. And we also end up using a lot of water because of increased cleaning. So we do 3 times, 4 times cleaning per day now because of to take care of contain the infections. And then hand wash frequency, when COVID came into March, we could see people doing it 10 times, 15 times. Many people were paranoid about it. So all this is going to create a lot more challenges. A lot of chemicals, sanitizers, soaps. So a lot of chemicals are getting into the environment as well. So this is a big challenge for the green building movement. And so before getting into that, one small thing. So how the IGBC rating system helped us during COVID-19. So I was sitting and mapping during lockdown about how the green building thing has helped us. And so we saw water saving sensor taps. We did that sensor taps to make sure that there are no leaks and very less water is used. But it also gave better hygiene now. And so people were very comfortable using the taps here in our facility. And steam cleaners, I already said it's water saving. It is 100% chemical free. You don't need any soaps, detergents, nothing at all. And it kills germs 99.99%. And this some of the research articles say that steam cleaning is far better than even other forms of chemical cleaning. And so this is something which we have in office. And so we are doing a perfect disinfection of our facility every 2-3 times a day. And so that is actually contributing to a great extent to the quality of hygiene in the building. And enhanced ventilation, we went by the ASHRAE standards and wanted to have enhanced ventilation. And so today, in air conditioned offices, it's COVID, they say it could be airborne. And so now the fantastic ventilation is actually helping us, giving us healthy interiors. And so because of the automation, we had completely touch-free automated lighting and HVAC controls. And even somebody wants to operate in our facility, they can use their mobile phone to control their HVAC and lighting and things like that. So this improved hygiene as well. And the complete automation, which we did for energy saving, is helped us run the facility infrastructure during lockdown with 100% remote management. We didn't have any facility person sitting in the building to do anything. But the water purification was happening, the plants were getting water, solar power was generated, the data center was running smooth, the air conditioning was done, night purging was done. So everything ran very smooth. And thanks to the IGBC rating system, we did that 100% automation. So that's how it benefited us. So coming to the challenges, what I explained about the COVID-19 related challenges. So like we are going to use more power, more space we need, more app circulation we need, and water usage is going to be going up because of the COVID-19 situation. So here that the work from home concept is really benefiting. So all desk jobs can happen with in a work from home scenario. And so it works well for many, and it's a boon for people attending to kids, providing elder care, having movement disability. So I think we should encourage this. It was considered as a special privilege in IT where senior people used to get this opportunity to work from home. But now it could be extended to everyone. And it helps implementing social distancing. So at any given point in time, if you want to have only 25% of the people coming to office, then the balance 75%, if they can work from home, it's fantastic. You don't lose productivity. So more importantly, for the green building movement, it cuts down a lot on pollution, the carbon emissions. I've been watching the air quality levels, and at Coimbatore, I had a graph presented where after April, though the lockdown happened in March 24th, till April, May, the air quality was very not improving so much. But then June, July, August, now we have fantastic air quality, and at nights we are hitting PM 2.5 at 0 and PM 10 at 1, that kind of figures, which is fantastic. So the carbon emissions and pollution is reduced because more and more people start working from home. And it has an excellent positive health impact because people on an average, they travel 1 to 2 hours a day, and that impacts their health as well, whereas work from home is okay. It's really helping there because they can save time and spend on family and health and other things. So for the organizations, it was also giving in infrastructure cost savings and capacity optimization with a facility which normally handles 1,000 people, now they can handle 200 people, even implementing 50% social distancing norms. So that way, work from home is a concept that we need to push so that we can ensure the energy savings are there and we still continue to cut down pollution and carbon emissions. And so when we do this work from home, obviously some people need to come to work at office. And so we need this hot desking kind of a concept to be implemented, that is space management, seat allocation, wherein we can allow seats to be booked on an odd even kind of a policy, auto-assign seats for people who are expected to come to office on that particular day, advanced book or a hot desk, you come and scan and start using the space, and implement social distancing norms properly there. So this is a typical flow plan where people can see which seats are occupied, and so accordingly they can choose a place where the infections or the density of people is less, and they can book that space. So this also helps in optimizing the space, based on the number of people coming to work on that particular day. The space can be filled if we have 4 floors. Possibly we will use only 2-3 floors, implementing social distancing, and so you can save energy on air conditioning and lighting in the another floor or another area. So the hot desking concept really helps to bring down the energy consumption and optimizes the building. So this is a typical, people can use a QR code scanning so that touch-free they can go and scan and start using by seeing which spaces are free. And it's in COVID, we need very healthy interiors. So COVID, we suspect it's airborne now. And so the CO2 monitoring helps in fresh air supply monitoring. See, if a building, the fresh air supply system is switched off or it stops working at some point in time, we don't know about it. But with the CO2 monitoring and automatically the alarms are going to be coming, and then immediately you can take corrective action. Otherwise, there could be a bout of infections happening within the facility, and so it is bad for the productivity of the company and people as well. So demand control ventilation, again, to make sure that everything is, the fresh air supply is well maintained. Coming to the dust level and reduction in lung capacity. So today, the people who are very susceptible to COVID is people with poor lung capacity. So buildings can contribute a big way. Green buildings can contribute in a big way here because the outside air quality, we all know it's extremely bad. And but people spend within buildings 10 to 12 hours, at least the best job people. And so if we can maintain excellent indoor air quality, so we will not allow the reduction in lung capacity happening because of pollution. And so that way we'll be contributing the health and wellness of our people. And so filtered fresh air for maintaining optimum levels. So we can maintain PM levels at 2.5 levels at 510 if we have proper systems in place. And that will improve the health and well-being of our people. So improved lung capacity equals health and longevity, and improved recovery chances with respect to COVID. And so we are very happy that we did all this for getting a green building rating. So finally, like the smart buildings of the future, yes, it is all about AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, predictive maintenance, asset management, energy and utilities management, and so on. But the two important components, in my opinion, post-COVID is going to be environmental friendliness, which already a lot of people are really keen to have green buildings. It also is moving towards occupant wellness because healthy people means healthy company, healthy economy, and so we all need to contribute to make sure that our occupant health and well-being is taken care. And so I would strongly recommend people to start looking at the IGBC health and well-being rating system, and which can give lots of insights in what we can do to improve the occupant well-being. So that brings to the end of the presentation, and really thank you very much for the patient listening.
Thank you, Mr. Giridhar. It was a very, very topical, relevant presentation, in addition to what one expected in terms of energy efficiency, improved performance, sustained environment. You talked about a very, very topical related subject in terms of indoor air quality. The nicer aspect of it was that there again, you tried to measure the various parameters and try to translate it in terms of the impact on enhanced lung capacity, better health. Very good. Okay, Giri, if I may come to you, your presentation was fascinating from the angle that you beautifully connected green, sustainable building to occupants' wellness. And there are two interesting insights in your presentation. You said your building by design had about 45% fresh air ventilation. You said although you had initially 1,500 ppm CO2, you could bring it down to, your target was 800, but in the presentation and the dashboard, it said 862. So now, then I'll come to the other parameters you talked. So would you be good enough to try and say, one is a quantitative metric, second is qualitatively, how do you connect building green to occupants' wellness? I think it's a beautiful point, more so for a lot of green buildings. If people understand that green can also mean wellness for my fellow colleagues, the acceptance will be phenomenal. Over to you, Girish.
Yeah, so the initially, to be frank, we wanted to meet the green building requirements and wanted to maintain it, because after being a top building, then if we don't maintain, then it is not right. And so that is what pushed us to do that. But once the challenges started, when we started looking into it, then we started learning about how the CO2 levels, contribute poorly to the productivity of people, and the long term. People sit in buildings with the CO2 levels running at 2,000, 2,500 for 10 years, 10 hours a day. So these effects of it are still not visible because not enough research has been done. But then it is quite obvious, when we feel what happens to us when we sit in such environments, with an awareness that, okay, this is the level at which we are operating. And so with that awareness, when we start noticing, then we see significant things. And so being a building owner, and we are owning, that is occupying our own building, so there was a lot of interest in me to make sure that my team is pretty healthy. And so that drove us to start looking at it more and more, and that's how we went into HEPA filter level and all that stuff. And so that we are truly happy that it's helping us.
Excellent, Giri. Just to